What we are doing now is what we call Dharma talk. Dharma talk is actually from two words in English, or in, let's say, in Pali and English. The word of Dharma, it means nature, or the practice, or the way, or the teaching. Talk is just to talk, talking. So Dharma talk, it means talking about nature, talking about the practice, talking about the way, about the teaching. Actually, when we hear Dharma talk, we have 5 benefits we gain. First, we hear things we never hear before. Second, if we hear things already, so now we have the possibility to hear them second time. So you can get them more clear. Another thing, if you have any doubt, any things you don't know or whatever, so it's clear the doubt. Then when we hear Dharma talk, we make us happy, okay? So happiness is coming in us. And then when we hear Dharma talk, we hear wise things, important things, so it brings wisdom in us. When we make our practice, actually, we make 3 exercises. We make mindful prostration, which is exercise with the end, and then we make walking meditation, and then we make sitting meditation. Sometimes people ask me why we have to do the mindful prostration, why we have to do walking meditation. So actually, for every exercise like this, there is a benefit by itself. These 3 exercises, they are like a stairs, climbing stairs. They support each other. They are building each other. If we miss one of them, actually our effect of the meditation is less. The mindful prostration, actually, the first exercise, is one benefit of it is we are training ourselves to develop mindfulness for our small movement. We make so many actions, small actions in our body. The important is not the meditation, the important how we can be mindful about our life in the small position of the body. When I'm writing, suppose I'm writing letters, or I'm writing homework, or I'm taping the computer, or I'm cutting something, cutting the knife, or cutting with the scissor, even typing the handy. When you push on the handy, many times people put the key, they don't remember where they put the key. Or they put the handy, they don't know where they put the handy. We make so many actions with our hands. If we want to train ourselves that in the future we do something, we also pay attention. Sometimes people, they forget if they turn on or turn off the gas or whatever, or they close the door. So many. So if we want to train ourselves to be mindful for our end, we have to start from something simple. So that's why this is one of the reasons we are doing very, very simple movement with the end. Train, even. But we don't just move, we move with Achtsamkeit. So by this small movement, we repeat on it, we can, something like we take very simple exercise. If I compare it, we try to build the muscles, we start with 2 kilos. For example, you do train already 1 moment of mindfulness and concentration. Train another moment of mindfulness and concentration. Train another moment, and then even another moment. You see, in one mindful prostration, how many moments like this we collect? In Pali we call it kanika. In momentary, moment by moment by moment by moment, we collect. It's not mean we focus on one thing. That's why we don't close the eyes. We don't force concentration. We just simply we know. And then we collect moment by moment by moment. That's why we call it kanika. In one place they describe it like a drops of the rain. It's not mean that we have, if we want to collect the water in the lake, we have to throw in one time a lot of water. Even the rain that's making drop kanika, moment by moment by moment by moment, can fill the lake. In the same way, we don't need to focus, to close the eyes and to focus. Just collect one moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. For sure, the mindfulness, the speech and the movement should be synchronized, but in simple way. So slowly we collect and then the concentration coming more and more. Because the same way when I'm pushing the computer, I'm not like this. I'm not fighting with myself. I just simply tip 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 tip. But I know, because if I want to type, for example, one letter, I know that I'm pushing this letter. It's not that I push another letter and then upside down I write another word. Mistake already. Understand?
I don't know.
I mean, when I'm pushing the computer, suppose the letter A, I know that I'm pushing A. It's not mean that I want to push A and I push the Z. Another letter. It means there is mindfulness what I'm doing, but not with power. So if you want to do some work, maybe you are cutting some nice work or something with the paper. You take a paper and you want to, the children yesterday here, they make work about the festival. There is a festival. So you see the girl cutting. If she very forcing too much concentration, she exhausted, she cannot do. So many letters she have to do, so big letters. But if she do it very, very mindful and concentrating a little bit by little bit, this is also kanika. Beep, 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 beep. So this is one reason we make the mindful prostration. Another reason we do it because this is we call recall the mindfulness. Suppose I want to practice and I just now come back from school, or I come back from work, or I come back from shopping or whatever, and I want to start to practice. So if I start to practice, for example, I make walking meditation, my mind is still in the school, my mind is still in the shopping, in my work. So it's still there. So when I'm making the mindful prostration, I'm telling the monkey, you come here, don't jump. Now I want to practice. So they don't jump too much. Come, I want to practice. That's why when maybe thinking coming, hearing or whatever, I don't pay attention. I try to be with my end. And then we are coming to do the walking meditation. People sometimes say, why I need the walking meditation? What for this meditation? Usually we like to sit in meditation. Sometimes people sit in meditation and then they cover themselves in something. And then they very nice meditation. This is slapping, this is not meditation. So we have 5 benefits when we make walking meditation. One thing, when we practice mindful walking meditation, the energy and effort coming more. One time happened, one of the very important students of the Buddha, Mahamoggallana, he has powerful concentration. He is so important that they make a statue for him. This one, the left side. Sariputta. The right side of the Buddha is Sariputta. Yeah, this is the monk. This is not the Buddha. This is standing here. Sariputta is the most wise. There was a friend, 2 friends from the, between them. Actually, Sariputta, first time he hear someone answer, he asked questions. Someone just tell him one sentence. Boom! He already got to one eye stage. And then he was making the fan for the Buddha. It was hot and he make wind to the Buddha with the fan. And someone come and ask questions, the Buddha. And the Buddha answer, and then boom, he became enlightened. What's two sentences only. And his friend Mahamoggallana has the most power of concentration. He can fly, he can read the mind, he can see angels, he can do many magic. And then he was sitting meditation at night, he practiced all the night. And he was sitting in the meditation, boom, sleepy all the time. He was not enlightened yet, but he has power of concentration, so he don't need to go to the Buddha. He send his mind to the Buddha. He asked the Buddha, what to do? I'm sleeping all the time. So the Buddha said to him, make walking meditation now. After the Buddha he get enlightenment, he was making walking meditation 1 week. When we go to the place where we see the place, the history place where the Buddha he get enlightenment, he stay there about 7 weeks, and he have 1 week when he make the walking meditation. Yeah, because he was enlightened, so no problem. No need to eat. concentration so high, no need to eat nothing. It automatically happens. Also, no need to sleep so many days. But when you reach this stage, concentration very, very high. So this different kind of story about monk when they make walking meditation. You need to build the energy and effort. Sometimes people, they enjoy it, and they say, okay, I go to make meditation, maybe I also make it in my bed, and they cover themselves and easily they lay down. I think actually running away from, don't want to see, but this is not so much meditation. The mind falls into what we call tinamita, laziness and tiredness. So, like I said, the one thing against it is walking meditation. Second thing, people making walking meditation, their legs become, they are building the patience and the ability to walk longer distance. They are building patience. In the future, if they have to walk to do something, they can do a long time, no problem. One time we was teaching in one place, and it was shortly after I make accident. I had the sticks, walking sticks, and the kitchen, and the legs, I don't remember if the legs was in cast or it was in some machine that I couldn't put my legs on the front because I break my legs. In the accident, I make accident, okay, so I break my legs, and when I break my legs, I have with the gips, okay, gips to say, and then the legs was, I don't remember if it was gips or some machine that all the legs, but I couldn't step on the legs. I used the walking stick.
Yasmin, she wants to know why you broke your leg.
Because one night I came back, I was teaching meditation, motorcycle. I finished to teach, and then I came back. I have to drive something like 20 minutes or more than half an hour, and then I drive in the road which is two sides, one going like this and one going like this. And it was dark, totally dark. It was there like how to say, club of and darkness, no light there. Club for training, for football.
Where you were
like
teaching?
This. No, in the place where I was driving with my motorbike. And then the city, they fix all of the toilet. There is in the on the street. You have the holes where all the rubbish going, okay? So they fixed it, but they didn't fix it, and they didn't make any sign that be careful.
So there was no lid on it?
So no, it was like a stairs, and my wheels of the motorcycle go into it, and I stuck and boom, fly 30 meters. Lucky no car come in the front and no car come in the back. I could hit them and maybe die. So when I was mindful, I checked first things. When I finished all these things, I was alone in the dark. I started to do this to check no blood in my head, and I checked that no problem in my back with my spine. When I see that everything is okay, I check my hand that everything is okay with my hand. Slowly, I was mindful, and then I say, okay, slowly, I try to stand up. I didn't feel any pain. Usually, when the leg's broken, it should be very strong pain, but I didn't have some pain. But I don't know why. When I start to stand up, I have the feeling that I have problem with my leg. So I just keep sitting down until the ambulance come and take it.
But how? An ambulance come if nobody there?
Okay, because slowly the people already, I was laying down, and slowly people start to stop. They asked me, can you drive the motorcycle and this? I say, I think no. And then they asked me, do you want us to call to the ambulance? I say, yes, please. Only when the ambulance come, they put me in like a bed, and then I see that the legs start bloop, like a balloon. The water start to come up. So I knew that I had problem with my leg. When they put me in the gips and everything, I have rising, moving, lowering, stepping, rising, and I train myself walking with the sticks. Slowly. And then when we make the course with many people, we have to go to take the lunch and the breakfast. About normal people can walk about 10 minutes, and maybe a little bit more than 10 minutes. let's say 10 minutes, you have to walk for this. And then people ask me, oh, it's not so difficult for you to walk all this long distance. What does mean long distance? It's just rising, moving, jumping, rising, moving, jumping, step by step, step by step. What do you mean long? Every moment by moment. Why do I have to think about the food already? Why my mind has to be there? I'm only here now. Jumping, step, already finished, another step, finished. And then like this. And like this we are building the ability to walk longer distance with patience. Another thing, this is the second thing. The third thing, when we make walking meditation, rest, nach, von, links, nach, von, every movement like this, rest, nach, von, it's one movement of mindfulness and concentration. So we build the mindfulness and the concentration. It's not mean that if we make walking and the eyes open, we don't build the concentration and mindfulness. Of course we are building. Same like we make turning, momentary concentration, also with the legs. Rest, nach, von. This is one movement. One moment of concentration and one moment of mindfulness. Links, nach, von. Another move. It's not only this, also stopping. It's another moment. Oh, thinking coming on me. I know, thinking coming on me. It's another moment of concentration. Thinking. It's not mean that if I stop for acknowledge the thinking, this is not concentration and not mindfulness. This is also one moment of concentration and mindfulness. We should not ignore it. Whatever, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling and thinking, we have to stop and to acknowledge. Moment by moment, okay? We don't ignore anything. Okay, so this is the third thing. We are building the mindfulness and the concentration. Four things walking meditation is doing is adjusting and let's say fixing the digesting system and the blood system. You see people, they are sitting long time on the chair, they became fat, they have problem, stomach problem, blood problem. Okay, when we make walking meditation, the blood system and the digestive system working much better. And then we are the fifth thing what the walking meditation is doing is fixing all the sickness in the blood system and digestive system in the body. Actually we have different kind of sickness in the body. Not every sickness can cure, but the sickness called from the karma or psychosomatic sickness, the meditation can fix. Because some of the sickness we have to go to the doctor. Sometimes people say, oh no, I try to take care only by meditation. This should not be, it's not correct. Mostly if you have problem of the karma, the doctor will check you, you don't know what to do. You don't know what is the reason of the sickness. But in the meditation, many kind of sickness is cleaning. Blood system, blood circulation, high and low blood pressure, migraine, things with the stomach, things with some sickness. I have students, they come from India, they have some problems in the stomach, the doctor cannot cure it. They can't finish the basic course. Clean it. Yellow fever, malaria, clean. This we know. Some people even many years before they have the sickness, and even they don't know, it's already something sleeping inside and waiting for the time to come and attack the body. When they practice meditation, it come up, and then they slowly take it out. Drugs, things from alcohol, people smoking. And then, so this is the fifth thing what the walking meditation is doing, cleaning the sickness from the body. And different kind of wisdom also appear. Sometimes we should not do this, these people like this and then this, I should not do this, these people, something I'm starting to understand things about our life, to see the difference between good and bad. This kind of understanding, we call it insight. And then when we are coming and taking this kind of insight into the sitting meditation, actually in the sitting meditation we don't make much movement and we close the eyes. If we sit in the correct sitting, which is not too lazy, not too tight, so we bring up the mindfulness and the concentration on the level that we bring high level of wisdom. Sometimes I describe it, the Buddha say we are suffering because we have dust in the eyes. Dust like anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. This dust is cover our eyes. Like a big tree we have inside. Tree of the anger, tree of the worry, tree of the doubt, tree of the lazy, tree of the... We don't see them all the time. They are coming different times during the day. Sometimes they're coming together in different combinations. So when we acknowledge, when we use the mindfulness, something like, boom, we cut one leaf, boom, we cut one leaf, boom, we cut one leaf. We see the anger, we acknowledge anger, boom, we cut it. Greed, boom, doubt, bing. Now, this is one kind of level of wisdom. And more concentration in mindfulness, we start to cut the branches. In higher level of mindfulness and concentration, something like boom, boom, we cut really strong one, maybe 25% from the tree of the anger, 25% of the doubt, or even all the doubt, all the tree. Every level like this we have name in Pali actually. You see the book behind there, there is explanation about all this process of the mind, what happens when we are practicing Vipassana. Actually what makes this cleaning is very, very simple. It's just mindfulness. Sometimes people think that they have to understand, they have to analyze, they have to judge, they have to investigate. This is not Vipassana. If we have to understand, we like to understand ourselves, how we look. For example, when we look at the mirror, all we have to do is just to look. We don't have to investigate what we are looking. When we look, just simply look, we understand more and more by looking. Even if investigation and wisdom is coming in the mind, we have to be mindful. Now I'm investigating. Now I'm analyzing. Now I'm understanding. Should not follow them. Now, what the Buddha teaches is 4 foundations of mindfulness. It means 4 elements that if we will be mindful, if we will pay attention to them, we know what happened to us. The first is our body. Most easy, more clear, more understandable. For example, you are walking, sitting, standing, laying down, every position of body. Also when you go to sleep, you know, laying, touching the head, you can sleep any position you like. But just pay attention, rising, falling, laying. You just know what your body is doing. Now, you are sitting in the class, you are sitting in the bus, you are sitting in the car, you are sitting wherever, in your work, wherever you sit. You know, now I'm sitting. Also walking, when you walk everywhere, you know that you are walking, standing and laying down. Besides big position, also we have, like we said, small position, touching, turning, rising, lowering, drinking, eating, everything we have to be mindful. Besides our body, we have also feeling. Feeling, we have 3 kinds of feeling. Sometimes we like something, we have to know, now I like it. Sometimes we dislike it. We have to know, I don't like it. Sometimes we're neutral. Also neutral we have to know. We have 3 kinds of feeling, liking, disliking, and neutral. When we pay attention, when we know them, we don't let them to control us. We learn to be on the top of them. Besides this, we have our mind. Thinking, remembering, planning, analyzing. We have to know, now I'm thinking about something, now I remember something, now I'm planning something. And then we have mind object. Anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving, any kinds of let's say volition or mind object like this we have to. Anyone don't have maybe anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving? Anyone that don't have? Maybe? Maybe you don't have? Me? How do you know?
It could be.
What is it? What
Jasmine wants to know, because you were talking about the brown books, and so she wanted to know what is this book. So I told her this is Thai language, and then she was asking, but what is the blue?
This is how to say, like translation or explanation about this. This is called Tathagata. Tathagata.
So this is the Tipitaka? And this is the commentary?
No, this is the Triptaka, this is Atthagata. Explanation about it. Very difficult to understand.
So there's a lot of repetition over there?
It's not repetition, it's explanation about.
Yeah, but so the topics are repeated?
Yeah, about this one. Explain this one.
Yeah.
This is about the people. There was a people. I think this is probably more than 10 years already. The people who working for government, they bring here. At that time, I was also lucky. Was in the temple after over here. Was here. And I was there one of I make like
it's a gift from the princess.
No, not princess, in the queen again.
From the queen.
Delicate. To send the people bring it to Germany, and then some of the people who work for government they bring here to us. I was lucky our temple become this.
Very nice. And then the Buddha say one time the Buddha is stand in the forest and he take the leaves in his hand. And then he say to the monk, what do you think, monk? Where there is more leaves? In the tree, in all the jungle, or in my hand? So the monk said, for sure in the tree, not so much in your hand. So the Buddha say, the understanding of the Buddha, the nature, it's like a leaf in all the forest. The understanding that the Buddha gives you is like a leaf in the hand. But this is also difficult for you to understand. That's why we need Atthagata. Sometimes also this we don't understand. So that's why the Buddha say, mostly if you want to be better person, you have to avoid doing bad. Do good how much you can, and practice mindfulness and clean your mind by mindfulness. So mindfulness, we have 4 elements for mindfulness: body, feeling, mind object. Maybe you repeat together. Body. You do it in German.
Körper, Gefühl, Geist.
One more time.
Körper, Gefühl, Geist, Geist.
One more time.
Körper, Gefühl, Geist, Geist.
One more time.
Körper, Gefühl, Geist, Geist.
The last time.
Körper, Gefühl, Geist, Geist.
Any question?
I know in Thai.
Kai Vedana Jittam.
Exactly.
Yuppie. Any?
I would like to read some time, but I have heard the people tell, please be careful, because this word is Bali. When you not perfect, you read that, and it's not good if you read the comma. That's why I be careful. I do not want to touch. This is highly
difficult to understand.
Highly
Holy.
Very difficult to understand. Because we have 3 kinds of wisdom. One kind of wisdom is wisdom that you are hearing, and then you can remember. This is what my father teach me. Oh, this is a chair, this is a table. My mother teach me. This is this and this is that and that, and then I can learn. I can remember. This we call Sutta Maya Panya. Sutta is mean hearing. But we get information and we are learning from the memory. When I go to the school, my teacher teach me this is 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 is 2 and 3 and 3 and this is this and that. I open television, I see about the lion, I see this and that, so I can learn from what I see in television, for example. Maybe I open the newspaper and I can learn about politics, about this and that. So this is because Sutta Maya Panya is the first kind of, let's say, knowledge. Even we cannot call it wisdom. And then I'm sitting and I say, moment. If the teacher teach me this is metal and this is plastic, I connect between them, I can make a hammer for myself. And if I can take the tube and I put the gas in this, I can make a condition, so the light or whatever. It means I have intelligence. By intelligence I can develop things. This is we call the knowledge which we gain by intelligence. This we call Jintamaya Panya. This is from thinking. But these two kinds of wisdom, I can support the body. I can go and work and I get for myself, if I feel cold or whatever, I can buy a house or air condition, like I say, or light or whatever, and I can protect food and I can protect my body. I also can buy it. I can also go into the school and I can learn and I can buy this kind of knowledge. But actually we take the king have everything. But you want to say that he is not worried, he is not anger, he don't have doubt, not laziness, he is not have sadness. Any things like this can overcome, teach him how to overcome all these things. This kind of two kinds of knowledge will not be able to teach him or to help him to overcome the suffering of the mind. Only the knowledge by meditation, the insight gained by mindfulness and concentration, only this one can let you the ability to overcome the suffering of the mind. The Buddha called it Bhavana. Bhavana Mayapanya. Bhavana is mean development. Same like you do with your garden. When you develop your garden, you make Bhavana also. In this case, by meditation, we clean our mind from the bad things and we develop the good things. So that's why I say there are three kinds of wisdom: Sutta Mayapanya, Jinta Mayapanya, and Bhavana Mayapanya. These two kinds of wisdom, Sutta Mayapanya and Jinta Mayapanya, can help only to the mind, to the body, but not to the mind. But only the Bhavana Mayapanya is the only way. Cleaning the mind by meditation is the way to overcome the suffering of the mind. Any other questions?
Is the law of nature not anicca?
Yeah, sure. Three characters in the life. Yes. When you look at nature, when you mindful about nature, when you pay attention to the nature, you see that three things all the time come back in the nature. And before it was morning, now it's noon, later it will be in the night. Once I was a child, little boy, and then grow older, and then became sick and died. Before we start this talk, develop the talk, and almost finish the talk. Buddha say everything is impermanent, everything changes all the time. We look at the nature, we can see this changing all the time. The Buddha call it anicca. Another thing, he say, as long as creature exists, you will see there are unsatisfaction. Not happy about this, not comfortable here, not what we call suffering. The Buddha call it dukkha. And then the third thing you see is that you cannot control if you want. Can you control the body not to be old? Can you control the body not to be sick? Can you control yourself not to die?
Anicca.
This is anicca. It's changing. But this point of view that I'm talking about is that you cannot control it. So that's why the Buddha says in the nature three characters: anicca, dukkha, anatta. In Pali we call it trilakkhana. Trilakkhana, it means three characters. Three and loka it means world. Lakkhana it means worldly conditions or worldly characters. Yeah, correct. That's right. When you look more, you can see it more and more. Yes, this is the insight of Vipassana. People practice Vipassana, you don't need to explain them. Same like you just know it. When I take, immediately say, yeah, for sure. It means insight. I don't need to explain too much because you experience. Good. Very good.
So I have one question about the by paying attention, the awareness about the mindfulness, the exercise or the practice. What is the aim, or what are we doing? Is it to learn to be in the present moment, or is it to learn to see ourselves and our actions from a different point of view?
First things, when you practice mindfulness, you are learning to manage yourself better because your life happens in the present moment. If you pay attention to what you are doing, what you are speaking, what you are acting, you will think better, speak better, and act better. When you see your characters, you learn to see nature as it is. So you create wisdom to see nature in a clear way. This is the meaning of Vipassana, to see clear, to see nature as it is. Actually not in another point of view, in a clear point of view. When you see yourself and you see the things that first you can see that the meaning of the suffering more and more clear. When you see yourself, you can see the meaning of suffering more and more clear. Because usually people suffering, creatures suffering, but usually they cannot see it. What happens is that all the time in their life they are running for something which is not comfortable for them, to something that is avoiding the miscomfortable. You see, even us, we are sitting here, how many times we move? We do this because we have uncomfortable, we change, we try to make it better, and then again, it will not really make us happy, so we move again. This is for example. Usually we do it, but we don't pay attention. But what Buddha say, pay attention. And when you start to pay attention, you start to notice about it. So you see the understanding more and more of the suffering. Second things you can see, you can understand is why we are suffering. We see when we are suffering, we think the suffering coming because of outside. Someone make me angry. The situation make me afraid. I don't know what to do, so I get doubt because too many university, too many problems. I don't know how to do. Doubting. I want more money because I don't have enough money, and if I have more money, I can. Greed. So the Buddha says the suffering is not because of outside, the suffering because of inside. Mind is not clean. We have anger, so we get anger. Just we need a trigger to let this anger come out. Actually, sometimes we get anger without trigger. We have worry, sometimes we will be worried. Sometimes with reason, sometimes without reason. Greedy. We have greed, we want more. It doesn't matter how much we have, we like more. We have laziness, it will come to us. We have doubt, it will come to us. All these things we have inside. That's why we are suffering. We don't suffer because of outside, we suffer because our mind is not clean. And then the Buddha said that if we clean all this rubbish from the mind, then we stop suffering. And how to do it? By mindfulness. So this is the basic things for the Vipassana. The Buddha called it 4 noble truths. In Pali, he used the word Jataro Ariya Satcha. Satcha, it means speech. Ariya is the high. And Jati is this is 4. This is the basic things for the Buddha, what he find out when he practice. And this is another thing, what you are practicing, we are practicing Vipassana. The reason for practicing Vipassana is to clean the mind. Okay. So, Dankeschön. I wish you all find the real happiness.